in this business forum. And then we shall move to remarks by the private sector representatives, both from Kenya and Estonia. After that, we shall be taken through a brief highlight presentation on business and investment environment, both in Kenya and Estonia. And this will be done by our experts and seniors who manage the business and investment activities in our respective countries. That will be marking the end of our first session of the Business Forum. At around 15 hours, we expect the arrival of Her Excellency, the President of the Republic of Estonia, and we shall keep, at that point, we shall give the required respect. We shall keep quiet and observe, maybe by standing, and welcome her into the room. She will be accompanied by a number of senior officials, both from Estonia and Kenya, and when they come in, most of the VVIPs will sit on the podium, and the VIPs will sit on the front part of the seats that we have with us. Then the official program will have to start and run up to 15:20, when Her Excellency the President will address the business forum, and then that will mark the end of the official business forum program. There will be some other event which will be announced at that time, but after that event, from 15:30 to 30, we shall have an event, a launch of the digital learning app developed through partnership between OPIC of Estonia and the Kenya Literature Bureau. That event will take place just outside this building. Then after that, we shall go into the business to business and business to government interactions. That is from 16:30 to 1800 hours. And after that, we shall have a reception for all the participants in the business forum. Right now, I want to go to the next stage, where I would like to call on Ambassador Marcus Rava to introduce the business representatives from the Republic of Estonia who have accompanied Her Excellency the President, so that as we move on, at least we know one another. Ambassador Marcus, please, you have the floor.
Director Matuanga, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, head osalejad Eestist. My name is Margus Rava. I am Ambassador at Large in the Foreign Ministry of Estonia for Economic Cooperation in Africa. It is my pleasure to introduce now, on behalf of Estonian Chamber of Commerce, the members of the business delegation, this time accompanying President Kaljulaid. Firstly, I would like to call representative of Admiral Markets.
Dear guests, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for participating. My name is Boris Kubendulin, and I represent Admiral Markets and Director for African region. Admirals is one of the world's fastest growing trading platforms. And as Admirals, we have taken our mission to change the world of trading globally. We want to help 10 million people to achieve financial freedom. We started our mission 20 years ago, and now we're represented in 20 countries, and we've got clients from 140 countries. As Admirals, we are regulated from United Kingdom, Australian, and Jordan authorities. We manage over $5 billion securely every day. Our pricing is more competitive because of technical excellence. We want to be your next reliable partner, to work together to to help more people to take control and grow their finances. Partner with us at admiralmarkets.com. Thank you.
Thank you. The companies go in alphabetic order, and the next one is actors. Kedi Välba is not here. I will say myself that they are an IT company specializing in e-governance systems and particularly in the field of justice. But you will meet her later and talk to her. The next one is Bolt.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to be on this stage today representing Bolt. My name is Anneli Aljas and I am VP of Finance of Bolt Group. Bolt is a global mobility platform connecting drivers, riders, eaters and restaurants globally. It's our mission to improve everybody's life by reducing stress, also saving some time and money, and helping cities to improve the traffic, parking and less pollution. Bolt was incorporated in 2013 in Tallinn, in Estonia, by Estonian student Markus Villig, and he was only 19 years old during that time. Today, 8 years have passed, and Bolt is one of the fastest growing technological companies in Europe and Africa. We have more than 75 million customers in more than 300 cities and in 45 countries. And behind this, all this work, we have a wonderful Bolt family who has more than 2,500 employees. Bolt has 3 different products. We have ride-hailing, we have delivery of foods and groceries, and we have also rental services of electric scooters, electric bikes and cars. In different countries, we have launched different portfolio of products. In Kenya, we are from 2016, when it was first launched in Nairobi. And at the moment, we are one of the leading transportation companies in the country. And we really want to make an impact in this country. And to show it in the best way, I would like to show you or play you a small video, which is done by our partners as a drivers. And it really shows the best way how we impact lives of people in Kenya. So please, thank you very much, and please, I hope we can see the video.
Kwa majina Joseph Roero, nafanya kazi na Bolt kwa muda wa miaka ndio niwache ile kazi nilikuwa nafanya nilikuwa nataka niwe na uhuru wa kuwa na familia yangu wakati wote nataka.
Nimekuwa nikifanya sahi kwa muda kama 4 years hivi. Lakini mbeleni ilikuwa challenge, ilikuwa unaweza kadhi hold kama umeenda maybe trip moja ama trip moja. With Bolt we guarantee at least 10 to 20 trips a day.
My name is Belinda Domo. I am a graduate of Ruby, and I am a Bolt driver since the year 2019. From being a Bolt driver, I have managed to pay my fees. I am able to now move from my sister's house to my own house. It's a big step for me.
People have asked me why I went to school for and why I'm sticking with the full delivery. When COVID came, I happened to lose my job and stayed home for like 6 months before I could get my bearing. So when Bolt Food launched in Kenya, I saw a great opportunity to join them because now the restaurants are being restricted to takeaways only. What I saw was the chance to take opportunity of that great deal. Because now their working mechanism is quite flexible. Works well with me. So since then, I've been doing deliveries.
When we partnered with Bolt Food, we saw our business doubling every single month. At the moment, we are at 3 times what our normal business used to be on online delivery sales. What's unique about Bolt Food is the platform that they offer is fantastic for SMEs like us, and we know we're going to grow.
Toka niingie Bolt nimeshaweza kujenga, mbeleni singeweza kujenga nyumba, sasa nimeshajenga kwa hiyo muda wa miaka miwili.
Mbeleni ilikuwa ni lazima nitafute client na tuongee mambo ya bei. With Bolt nimefanyia kazi yote. Mimi nipate client, nimbebe, nimfikishe, amefurahi, nimefurahi.
With the income I get from Bolt, I'm better off because I can balance now my bills and do my investments, and now I'm a happy farmer.
Wakati wa COVID, biashara ilikuwa imerudi chini sana. Ndio Bolt ikaonelea itupe mabarua za kufanya wakati wa kafyu.
The one company that actually set things afloat was Bolt. From them, we got 500 free rides that we could get women across Nairobi city to begin with. We have transported over 2,000 women from their homes to facilities. We have saved more than 14,000 women and their children now from this one initiative, and I'm grateful.
Thank you, Bolt.
Thank you. Next one is e-kool.
Hello, I'm glad to represent e-kool, which means e-school. My name is Tanel Keres, and we provide school management system, and we are having pilots already started here in Kenya. So what we do is that we connect home and school. We understand that sharing information with parents gives better results in learning, and also using technology helps teachers to save time and keep them focused on teaching. So we have very many proven results from Estonia and from other countries as well. So we would like to share our 20 years experience with you, and our company is represented here. Please do approach us and let's talk about the ways how we can help you and how your, let's say, schools and also local governments, also ministries can benefit from our services. Thank you, and I hope you find a way to our table. Thank you.
Thank you. I call upon the representatives of Fusebox.
Hello everyone, my name is Tarvo. I'm the CEO of Fusebox. Tarvo isn't the very easy name for you guys, so it is Tarvo. And Fusebox is helping to balance electricity supply and demand in the electricity systems. We do it without using fossil fuel generators. So in Kenya, we are doing a pilot project with the support of KETRACO, KPLC, and the Ministry of Energy. So feel free to approach me later on and to discuss it further. Thank you.
Global Virtual Solutions.
Good day, everyone. My name is Lehari, and what our company can bring to you is to help you to connect with the rest of the world in a more better, effective way using the most advanced technology. Please watch the 1-minute video. Thank you.
if Mr. Jaakso is not here, this is a company dealing with data and issues related to data and energy. But you will meet him up later. Next one, Ikos again, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Meelis Kadaja from a company called Icosagen. We are developing therapeutic antibodies and vaccines against cancer and pain. At the same time, we also have antibody therapeutics and vaccines moving into the clinics targeting COVID-19. However, it takes time until we get those vaccines and therapeutics to patients, and therefore we have developed also a faster solution that we can use right now. And this is called BioBlock. It's a nasal spray that contains bovine antibodies against SARS-CoV-2. These antibodies were manufactured from cow's milk who had been before vaccinated against coronavirus. These antibodies are safe to use. They are not medicine. They are a consumer product. One glass of milk contains 50 times more bovine antibodies than one of those BioBlock nasal spray bottles. So everybody who can drink milk can use these antibodies. And they are working as nanoparticles in the nasal cavity, on the nasal mucosa, inactivating the virus, and you can use it as a preventive measure, additional measure in addition to vaccination. Overall, Icosagen is a company that is really passionate about bringing the academic research out from academic institutions and translating into therapies and diagnostics. Thank you.
Thank you. Net Group.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Priit Kongo, and I'm the manager of Net Group. We're the company offering turnkey solutions for justice area, for education, and for e-commerce. We have operations already 5 years ago started in Eastern Africa. Not yet here in Kenya. We have our company in Tanzania. We support Tanzanian government with modern technologies. I'm here to find partner and business opportunities to establish service center to build up platform for digital education services for whole region, for whole Eastern Africa. Thank you.
Space Trip, please.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm the CEO of Space Trip, and Space Trip is on a mission to provide good sanitation and water access for communities around the world that face water scarcity and sewage disposal problems. So we have developed wastewater treatment robots that turn wastewater back to clean, reusable water. So Space Trip is aware of the challenges that Kenya faces in terms of sanitation and water access. So we would love to do a pilot with our wastewater treatment technology here in Kenya to demonstrate that our technology can provide proper sanitation and water access for communities of up to 1,000 people. Our wastewater treatment systems are fully automated and digitized, meaning that the operational and maintenance cost of wastewater treatment is reduced and also ensures stable, reusable water quality with software and mobile application connection. So, my name is Jonathan, I'm from Space Trip. Thank you.
StarCloud LLC, please.
Hello everybody, my name is Antti Rammo. I represent a company called StarCloud, which develops a software solution called OPIC. And as you can see, I have a textbook here, which is produced by a Kenyan educational publisher. So what we do is we digitize learning materials, high quality materials, and then make them available to schools, to teachers, to pupils, to parents, so they would have a high quality digital library with a digital learning environment. So we are here for looking for partners who can take this journey with us here in Kenya. So it is nice to meet you and see you later.
Thank you. Last but definitely not least, Timbeter, please.
Dear guests, my name is Anna-Greta. I'm the founder and CEO of Timbeter. Timber is a digital solution that is making the forestry transparent, efficient and traceable. We help organizations to increase the safety of the employee and guarantee fair trade transactions. We also help governments to fight with illegal logging by providing data for controlling and monitoring the timber supply chain. We are really honored to kick off the joint pilot project with the Kenyan Forestry Service to help them in their efforts to strengthen the sustainable forest management and fight with the illegal logging. So everybody who is concerned about the forestry and want to make sure that the Kenyan forestry is transparent and sustainable, please, let's connect. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would like to ask Director Matwanga on the stage for presentation of the Kenyan businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Marcus, and thank you so much for all the Estonian business representatives who have given us good highlights on what they do, both in Kenya, Estonia, and all over the world. Thank you and very much welcome. I'm sure you'll get partners within the Kenyan business community to partner with and do more work successfully. I now want to take the opportunity to invite one of the Kenyan leaders in the business community to invite a few of the Kenyan business companies represented here to also give a highlight of what they do. But because of time, I would really request that it takes 1 minute per company that will be invited. Without much ado, I would like to invite Madam Fatma El Mawe to come and introduce the Kenyan business companies represented here. Madam Fatma, welcome on the podium. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. All protocols observed. My name is Fatma El Mawi, Second Vice President from Kenya's National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and it's a pleasure to introduce my colleagues from the Kenyan side, and I would start with Mr. Jackson Tenik from Konza Technopolis, Mr. Tejal Dodia from Thika Cloth Mills, Madam Lucy Muchoki from the Kenya Agribusiness Agro-Industry Alliance, Mr. George Ochieng from Centum PLC, Madam Evelyn Wambui from Evon Energy, Mr. Simon Kabu from Bonfire Adventures, Dr. Julius Kipingetich from Jubilee Insurance. I'm here with my chamber president, Mr. Richard Ngatia, who will address us in a minute. I also would like to introduce Mr. Jeff Thuo from Koseke. Allow me to start. 1 minute for you to be able to introduce your business and what you expect to get from this forum. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. My name is Jackson Tenik. I work with Konza Technopolis Development Authority, a Government of Kenya Smart City project undertaking and offering investment in various sectors of the economy. I'm here to meet those of you who want to locate to Kenya. Konza Technopolis is the new frontier. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tejal Dodia. I'm the Managing Director of Thika Cloth Mills, which is a fully integrated textile mill where the raw material is cotton, polyester, we import dyes, chemicals, and we actually make the textile, like what I'm wearing, maybe uniform materials, especially for the schools, the security companies in the country. And so there's a whole value chain, from cotton then to spinning, weaving, processing, and then, of course, the garmenting. So anybody who has any, wants to meet me to talk about any area of this, it could be importation of machinery, it could be for us to export our fabrics, our materials, as well as finished garments to the rest of Europe, to Estonia. I already believe some of it is going, which is great, which is nice, but we would like to do much, much more. And by doing this, you will be helping farming in Kenya, you will help with the eradication of poverty, the job creation, and Africa is manufacturing, and we would like to see our products on the international, in the international markets. Not just textile, but we do everything, from biscuits to chocolates to ice creams, and I think we are ready. If some of you would like to take some of the products from here into your countries, I would lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Nairobi. We really appreciate you being here with us. My name is Lucy Muchoki. I am the founder and CEO of Kenya Agribusiness and Agro-Industry Alliance. I'm also a technical chair at the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce Business Technical Committee. What we are doing is working together, ensuring that we deep dive and look for investment opportunities in our agricultural sector. So if you are looking to invest in agribusiness in this country, would like to engage you. We have quite interesting and very important ensuring that you can be able to work through and bring your money here. We want you to be with us. Karibuni sana, asanti.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon. My name is George Ocheng from Centum PLC. We are a publicly listed company. We are a publicly listed company, investment company in Nairobi Stock Exchange and Uganda Securities Exchange. We deal with real estate, private equity, development, and also commercial papers. And so if you're looking for a real estate partner, you're looking for a private equity to partner with to grow your business, then I'll be around to have a conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Jambo and good afternoon. My name is Simon Kabu, Chairman and CEO of Bonfire Ventures, a tours and travel company. When I was looking at Estonia, I know you guys have the deers, we have the wildebeest, and we have the lions and the big five. We encourage you, let Estonians come and visit Kenya, and our temperatures are very nice throughout the year. So please visit Kenya and you're able to witness the wildebeest migration and the 8th wonder of the New World. Asanteni.
Good afternoon. My name is Lily Kariuki, representing Mr. Jeff Thua, our MD from Koseke. I'm the country manager for Koseke Kenya, a regional ICT implementation company with 7 regional companies in the whole of Africa. We do system implementation, we do document management systems. So if you're looking for partners for office automation, I saw the people doing for education, we're the guys for you. Welcome to Kenya.
Mine is to thank you once again for this opportunity for us to be able to conduct business together. We have taken the first step. Karibuni, and thank you.
Thank you, Fatma, for that introduction, and thanks a lot to the Kenyan companies that have made their introduction. I know we have many more Kenyan companies in the room, but because of time, we shall not introduce all of them. We have a session for P2P and P2G later on. I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to engage and talk more and create partnerships that last for longest. Without going into a lot of talking, I know that we are behind schedule in our program. I would like to invite the Principal Secretary for State Department of Trade and Enterprise Development to come and run the program for us here moving forward. Ambassador Johnson Weru, I welcome you to take over the program and guide us moving forward. Please, PS.
So we don't need the mic, eh? But it's okay. Thank you very much. The Director of Economic Affairs and Commercial Diplomacy in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Frederick Matwanga. As was indicated, I have a very humble and privileged duty to take you through the next segment of our program. I would wish to request the senior officials of the government of Kenya present here to stand up so that I can introduce them. PS Kitungu, Catherine Kitau, Bernard, Moses, watu wa serikali wako hapa. Okay, I will start on the far right there is Dr. Moses Ikira. Moses Ikira is the Managing Director of Kenya Investment Authority. He is one of the resource persons, and this is a state body that deals with handling of foreign investors and domestic investors. And for this particular event, he is here to listen very carefully to any representations from the Estonian side. Thank you very much, Bernard, Moses. The lady who is standing over there is Catherine Kitau. She is the head of the regulator for the ICT sector, the ICT authority. Catherine Kitau is here also because we have been informed and we have testimony to that effect that Estonia is one of the advanced countries in ICT in Kenya, in Europe, and part of the EU EAC Economic Partnership Agreement. Please take note of her. She'll be meeting with you later during the B2B segment. Thank you, Catherine. Right behind Catherine Getau is Dr. Wilfred Marube. Marube is the CEO of Kenya Branding and Export Agency, KEPROBA. He is partly responsible for the organization that you see here, and his main purpose is to promote Kenyan exports everywhere in the world. He will be very much available, and his team, during the business forum. Thank you very much, Dr. Marube. Behind there is, I can't see you properly, sir. Oh yes, Kenya Literature Bureau is one of the parties that are working with us. We'll have an event much later thereafter. And part of the consumer of Estonian technology. He'll also be available for interaction much later. My colleague Solomon Kitungu. Solomon Kitungu is the principal secretary responsible for transport in the Republic of Kenya. I'm very much pleased to introduce him. His mandate covers air transport, rail transport, and sea transport. And part of the competencies that we are looking to collaborate with Estonia is particularly on sea, marine, and air. He'll be available and with his team much later for engagement. Thank you very much, PS Solomon Kitungu. I wish to also to introduce the Managing Director of Kenya Bureau of Standards. Please start Lieutenant Colonel retired Bernard Jiraini. This is one of the regulators of the Kenya standards a very important body in international trade, and which deals with all the aspects of the exports that reach your country. So Estonia, we have, and I had raised this issue with your delegation in the advanced consultations, not very many issues, but critical in terms of our products that are supposed to reach your markets and which are having some small issues. In the interest of time, I'll stop there and indicate that also with us is the Minister for Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, and my boss, Honorable Betty Maina, very well known to all of you here, leading this team and with the cabinet responsibility for international trade. She'll be speaking much later on in the program when the chief guest arrives. Asante sana waziri. At this particular moment, I wish to invite Ambassador Marcus Lava, if he is here, Ambassador at large, to introduce senior government officials who are here from the government of Estonia. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Cabinet Secretary Maina, Ambassador Veru, ladies and gentlemen, head osalejad Eestist. Statistically speaking, Kenya is the third biggest economy in Africa, after Nigeria and South Africa. And Estonia is the third biggest economy among the three Baltic states, after Lithuania and Latvia. Jokes aside, there are things that unite Estonia and Kenya. As His Excellency President Kenyatta said yesterday, both countries aim to punch above their weight, and their companies do punch above their weight, in home markets, regionally, some even globally. With Ambassador Veru, we have already discussed about the wishes and possibilities of Kenyan economy in relation to Estonia and in relation to Europe. The wishes and needs of the Estonian economy are only partly, though, represented by the Estonian business delegation here today. Where there are no immediate matches here today between the two business communities, we do keep exploring them at future forums and in between. The official delegation of Estonia is about to arrive from an event at Strathmore University. Her Excellency President Kaljulaid is accompanied by Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mrs. Eva-Maria Liimets, by Deputy Minister of Economy and Telecommunications, Mrs. Sille Kraam, and her Chief of Cabinet, but they are all en route to the business forum. So unfortunately, there is nobody I could present in person. But if you want to meet them, come to me, and I'll make the matches after the end of the proceedings. They will be joining us shortly, I believe. Ambassador Veru and colleagues, thank you once again for hosting us here today. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Marcus. And as indicated yesterday by President Kenyatta during the banquet, please let this not be your last visit, because you also have a huge territory to cover. So I'll be there to help you enter into Africa and engage slightly deeper following the visit of our president. At this particular juncture, district delegates, let me invite Mr. Richard Gatia, the president of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to speak on behalf of the private sector of Kenya and say a few things on his intentions and ambitions for deepening cooperation between the business membership groups in Kenya and in East Africa and with the Republic of Estonia and by large, the European Union. Over to you, Mr. President.
Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Trade and Industrialization, Betty Minor, Your Excellency, the Ambassador, Ambassadors, and all protocol observed. Thank you very much for being here with us today, for us to have a conversation to see how we can take our businesses to the next level. Yesterday, I had a chance to have a conversation with Her Excellency Katsi Kuljalid, the President of Estonia, and I was excited on how Estonia, a small country as it is, has been able to get almost to the fast economy on IT, on how they've been able to support the startups on IT. And the conversation really made me reflect on where we are as a business, as a private sector, and how we must take this business to the next level. Your Excellencies, many opportunities and the investment areas that we must collaborate. First of all is look at the ICT, an area that we really want to see how we can enhance our business in that location, digital economy, cyber security, artificial intelligence. In fact, the private sector from Estonia, it's just good to tell you that in Kenya today, and our hospitals are very well equipped with artificial intelligence equipment and imaging products. We also need to see how we can be able to discuss areas around transport and logistics. We have been demonstrated on how Estonia has been able to develop using the new technology, a company by name Bolt, and also a farm by name Little Cub, which are doing exceedingly well in our country. Water and sanitation, waste management, and of course, we need also to see how we can be able to work closely with the government on PPP programs. And of course, we see how we can be able to also venture into smart cities. Special economic zones, an area that you all want to come and take opportunities available in those locations and also take advantage of the incentives that are being provided by our government. And also looking at industrial parks and how we can be able to support SMEs as well in that area. Konza, Technopolis, again, you have had the owners of Konza who are here. Again, that is an area we would want to also expand and also have smart cities across our country. Energy, construction, and mining. Again, this is an area that we really want to take advantage and see how we can penetrate the market, not only in this country, Kenya, and us being as the hub of East and Central Africa. Really, I think it is time we are able to partner and also look at geothermal, look at solar energy, and see how we can be able to progress. Again, looking at the SGR, how we can be able to expand that corridor to penetrate other markets. We are looking at East African Community, we are looking at ECOWAS, we are looking also at Commercial region, and most importantly, the 8 countries of the Great Lakes region. And of course, because of the opening of borders in the African Continental Free Trade Area, that is an area we must have a discussion and see how together and jointly we can be able to get into this big opportunity of 1.2 billion market. I really want to say that we, as the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in the year 2015, signed an MOU with the Estonia Chamber, and we really now want to make the implementation of the MOU so that we can say all the discussions then we had then must be implemented now and now. And because the chairman or the president of the Chamber of Estonia is here, and I'm happy he visited our offices yesterday in the presence of the ambassador. I want to wish you well and great deliberations with our private sector here to see how well we can be able to establish and make sure that our businesses are sustainable. Not forgetting areas within the putting up new technology and making sure that those youth in business, women in business, those within the universities can be able to get capacity built, can be able to learn about making sure that they learn skills that will be able to support them in future and prepare them for the very competitive markets. With those few remarks, I wish you fruitful deliberations this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard Gatia, the President of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for that wonderful statement. Let me now invite to the stage Mr. Preet Kongo from the Estonia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You have the floor, sir.
Hello, good afternoon. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I'm very happy to be at the opening of the business session, which is, I believe, the second one after the MOU was signed about 6 years ago. And Estonian Chamber of Commerce and Industry is the biggest organization combining businesses in Estonia from every industry. Since we couldn't take all of them here, we are represented mostly by ICT companies and companies of sustainable development. If you look at the trade between two countries, Kenya definitely sells less to Estonia. But Estonia is small and probably not the target market for all services and products from Kenya. But what we can challenge together is that we will challenge and conquer the rest of the world together. Why don't we try to combine and join forces so that we develop and test new products and services here in Kenya, in Estonia, together, and then entering Eastern African market and the rest of the world. This business forum is to make connections, get new ideas, new friends, develop new businesses, have lifelong relationships. We, Estonians, have found that Kenya is a strategically valuable place to establish a company that could provide services and products globally. Just an interesting fact, I didn't know, but Kenya can produce and provide energy with better prices than neighboring countries. And why? Because Kenya has quite significant power and capability to make it from the steam coming from the ground, which is the most sustainable form of making electricity, but which is also the most economical. Great. What I can say on behalf and from the Chamber of Estonian Commerce and Trade, I'm happy to be part of the business session, and I wish that we could build something together to make the world better. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Preet Congo. And from my observation, Congo is an African name. Karibu sana. At this particular juncture, distinguished delegates, I want to prepare you for a very, very short but executive presentation on the investment business potential in both the Republic of Kenya and the Republic of Estonia. And the first presenter, to take as short time as possible because we are running late into the program, is the Managing Director of the Kenya Investment Authority. I had introduced him much earlier, Dr. Moses Ikiara. Please approach the podium, Dr. Ikiara.
CS Betty Maina, the ambassador of Estonia in Kenya, the PSs who are here today, the two chamber presidents from Kenya, from Estonia, captains of industry from Kenya and also from Estonia, colleagues from government, and all the people who are here, good afternoon. Yeah. Is it? It's showing. Okay, so I'll be very quick in introducing Kenya. I'm happy to see that quite a number of the companies who are here from Estonia are already operating here and they know quite a bit about our country, so I'll be quite quick. But for those who don't know the country, Kenya is a country whose GDP is now about $100 billion. $100 billion, and a per capita income of about $2,000. We want to match to reach at least $3,000 per person. That is our Vision 2030 target. And we've come a long way. Just in 2002, 2003, we were only at about $600. So we've really more than tripled, I think. So we are also a country of 50 million people, thereabout. 3/4 of those are below 35 years of age. In fact, the median age is about 20 years, so very young, well-educated, among the highest literacy rates in the country, in Africa. And they're people who are very smart, easily trainable, as I'll be indicating later on. Strong democracy, very stable. If you are looking at all the rating agencies, they'll tell you Kenya is stable, we are on the right path. And like Ambassador said, and the President said last night, we are punching above our weight, and we intend to be able to continue doing that. Why Kenya? Very quickly, very many reasons, but I'll just mention a few. One is the economy. As everybody says, the economy is what really matters to the private sector people. If it's strong enough, they will be happy to even, ignore some of the risks. So economy has been strong. As you said, $100 billion is growing for the last 15 years, on average, about 5.5, 5.6% every year. Even though we are targeting double digit, we are accounting for 46% of the East African community GDP. So I think if you want to really do the business here, this is about half of the GDP in the region. But even better, the economy is very diversified, with agriculture accounting for about 34% directly, and then industry doing about 10 or thereabout, and the rest is services. And within services, it's very well diversified. Yeah, the other key thing besides the economy is the people. I think everybody, when we talk to multinationals that have chosen Kenya as their headquarters, and you ask them, why did you decide to settle here and make your continental headquarter here? They say there are many reasons, but the most critical one that really made them make that decision is the people, because of the attitude, hospitality, easily trainable. Unlike many other countries, they don't go away when they earn a salary to come when the salary is finished. They still work, even the following day after getting their paycheck. And the productivity sometimes is more than 3 times the average that you can get in other areas. So the people is really a key asset. I think I can say without doubt that we are top in Africa in terms of the quality of the human resource. The other reason is we know business environment is important to you, and the government has made it a major priority. So there's a cabinet committee that tracks what is happening on the quality of business environment. The president himself, when the results are announced and we've done well, he is among the first to celebrate and congratulate everyone. So that's why we have no indicators. If you are looking at the World Bank Index on ease of doing business, or the World Economic Forum Global Competitiveness Index, Mo Ibrahim Index, name it, even Transparency International now, we are really improving in terms of the ranking. So the business environment is very important, and we are going to get better because the structure is there. The presidential round table with the private sector, it keeps tracking on what is happening and taking the remedial actions. The other reason is again about economics, about trade. We are not only giving you the 50 million people that are in this country and the big middle class in our population, but it's also many other preferential arrangements that have been negotiated by the government. We estimate actually, without even including the Continental Free Trade Agreement yet, that the preferential arrangements that have been negotiated cover about 1.4 billion people around the world and about 29 trillion in terms of market value. So this is, when you invest here and make this your home, this is the total market that we are promising you. These are just show the structure of our trade, just to see that it's quite diversified, but we'd like to see more products coming and maybe the size of the pie getting bigger in terms of the total amount. The trade between our two countries is very small, actually. If you look at the numbers, just about less than $5,000 is really very, very little. So in such a situation, we can't talk about really balance of trade because it's too small. I think we hope today, after this business forum, we can actually grow this trade by multiple times, maybe even 100 times. And it's very easy to do. If you actually see some items in Estonia that you're importing from other countries, that we can help you produce here because of our lower cost and other advantages. It's good to come, form partnerships, produce here, export to Estonia and the surrounding countries. That way, we can be able to scale up the trade, and we have many, many items that have potential for this growth. The other reason is, of course, investment is secure. We've taken all the international instruments to give investors whose appetite for risk is very low comfort that their investment is safe. But besides the instruments, the track record of our government is what I would like to really say as the ultimate, because you can have the instruments, but if the government is not walking the talk, then you may not really take them to the bank. But our government from independence has been very, very strong in terms of really respecting and protecting private property. These are some of the accolades that we receive as a country from third parties. I think the first one is what I like most. For the last 6 years or so, Kenya has been #1 in the world on financial inclusion because of mobile money. It's that innovation. So from what I've heard about the companies from Estonia, and also the kind of capacity we have, we can actually, the partnership between our two countries can actually cause major waves and transformation in the, around the world. The other reason is that we have a very rich ecosystem. if you go to some countries and you are looking for a partner, you may not be able to get a partner who has the kind of capacity and the specs that you are looking for. But because of our very rich business ecosystem, you'll be able to get them there. And this is one of the key things why lots of multinationals have chosen here, because they know the ecosystem is rich, they can get the services, and they can get the partners that they are looking for. Very quickly on opportunities. Kenya is guided now by Kenya Vision 2030. That's our long-term plan, where we want to eliminate poverty by the year 2030. We want the average Kenyan to be earning at least $3,000. Happy people living in a good environment, feeling secure, moving from one part of the country to the other in a matter of minutes or few hours. That is Vision 2030. And for that, we need very strong growth, at least more than 10%. These are the sectors that have been selected after careful analysis with no less support other than from McKinsey International to be able to look at the potential of these sectors to drive the economy. So in any of these areas, you can get opportunities, big, mega, medium size, or small, depending on the size you are looking for. But for the immediate next couple of years, the president and government have picked 4 of the areas out of that as a key priority. And these are the ones: manufacturing, where we want to double our contribution. Manufacturing contribution to GDP from about slightly less than 8% to 15%. Actually, the target was to do this by the end of next year, and we still feel we can do that because we have set up some very good special economic zones. Then we want to achieve 100% food security and nutrition. We also want to achieve universal health coverage by, again, the same period, and also to create at least 500,000 affordable housing units. So these are the immediate targets, but underlying the enablers for this: infrastructure, science and technology, energy, all these are technical skills are also opportunities that are really supporting these areas of focus. So I'll just focus on ICT because majority of you, this is one of the key sectors of Estonian strength. And I think most of you will know this more than me, but the kind of opportunities we have in Internet of Things, the opportunities surrounding 4G, issue of corporate IT, cybersecurity, and then of course you have heard about our Silicon Savannah. 5,000 acres of land, only 50 kilometers from the CBD on the way to Mombasa, where you can do cutting-edge research and development, kind of enterprises. And it's not a dream. The agency managing the zone is there already. The infrastructure has been set up. The last time I checked, about 300 or so companies had already been given their pieces of land. So if you really want to do cutting-edge R&D, you need to go to the Silicon Savannah. Then in energy, green energy, from wind to solar, we have a lot of strength, even biomass. Geothermal is already accounting for almost 60% of our total electricity production. So we have lots of opportunity in green energy. And as we stand now, maybe over 80% actually of our total energy is coming from green sources. So, but we don't have enough. Our target from Vision 2030 is to be doing about 20,000 megawatts of power. We are only about slightly less than 3,000. So you can see how much space we have to generate more energy. Technical education is very critical area. Because of the growth, we need more technical people, machine operators, people who are in very, very unique technical areas. So we would invite you to come and build tech schools in Consa or anywhere, where we can be able to upgrade the technical skills. Universal health care is about insurance, medical insurance, and building facilities, telemedicine, and the related innovative solutions so that you can be able to reach universal health care within the next few years. Of course, tourism. We, as a country, we now only get about 2 million international tourists per year, but our capacity is more than, it's more than 5 million. So the opportunities are huge, very attractive, beautiful places, but we just need to see how we can bring innovation on how to really improve the offering and then get more people to consume the services. So as I finish, is to say ourselves at Can Invest, but together with other agencies that are promoting or facilitating investors. Export Promotion Processing Zones Authority and the Special Economic Zones Authority, we are all working together, plus the agencies in various line ministries, to make sure that we give investors an experience that they are not going to forget, so that they can make this their home and they can help us to attract even more people to come and invest here. Our motto is investor is king. And when the king comes, what you need to do is you roll out the red carpet and serve them. This is our promise. We have a one-stop shop in Upper Hill where you can get all the government services in one place. Anything you can't get there, we arrange a green channel or maybe make them to come and offer the service from there. So we've also built digital platforms so that you can actually do it yourself. If you want to see the procedures of different types of investment, you can get a link through our website to e-regulations. We have now almost 300 types of businesses and procedures where we document what you need to do, the steps, what is required, how much money you have to pay, how long it takes, as a way of creating transparency so that we can really move away from the notion or the narrative that doing business in Africa is opaque. It is not, because we did building a transparency platform. The other one is e-opportunities, where you can get all the opportunities that are investor ready. You can search by sector or by county of your interest, and then you can indicate that you want to invest there. So let me stop here by really thanking you for visiting our country, especially at this time when the world is facing the corona pandemic. We see your commitment and the faith, and we appreciate. So if you are thinking to invest in Africa, make it Kenya. We will be here to work with you and make it happen. Thank you. Asante.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ikiara. Let me recognize the presence of our ambassador to Sweden, who is accredited to Estonia, Ambassador Diana Kiabothi. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And let me also recognize the presence of Honorable Musheru, our Minister responsible for Innovation, Youth, and ICT. Karibu sana Waziri. Thank you very much. I now wish to invite Mr. Seven Olik, the head of the International Sales Unit of Enterprise Estonia, to come and give us a short presentation on the opportunities available in Estonia. And thereafter, because we have a large online audience that is engaging with us, there will be a short plenary, and with your concurrence, we'll give a few minutes to our online audience to engage with us. So Mr. Seven Olik, if you're in the house, please step forward. Yes, thank you very much. Welcome.
Each one of us has 24 hours a day. What matters is how we use them. In Estonia, we've created a business environment that lets you thrive, where you can focus on getting things done, where you can realize ideas that make a difference, and where no goal is unachievable.
Hello everybody, my name is Sven Naulik. First, I would like to thank Dr. Moses for such a great presentation. I hope Estonian presentation will also look as nice as yours. I'm really looking forward to. So, let's go ahead. My name is Sven Naulik. I work in Enterprise Estonia, which is Estonian state-financed foundation which helps Estonian companies and the economy to grow and provide different type of services to the companies who either would like to export. We also attract investments and deal with tourism. First of all, Dr. Moses showed us some achievements of Kenya where they are the first. So we have a list to match your list. So that means that we are also in quite a few places in very top of the world. I would especially point out, for example, that Digital Health Index, entrepreneurial activity. There is something behind the chair, but on the small screens you can probably see that we are #1 also in digital public services, and I'm going to talk about the digital a little bit more. That shows that although, yes, we are small, but we are quite visible in the world, and that's what brings us also here. There are a few focus areas in Estonia, and always when we try to do something, there are 3 key things which we have to make sure that they will happen. So whatever we do, it has to be innovative. Of course, in Estonia, basically everything is digital, and of course nowadays sustainability is very important, so the green is there as well. But if you go a little bit more closer to the ITC field or the sector, so we have a lot of interesting companies and sectors where we are working. I would point out the CovTech, for example, FinTech, green tech companies, health companies, smart city and digital construction. And most of these sectors are already also present in here today in Kenya, and I hope you will have a good business talks after the official part is over. But, of course, we don't have only the ICT. We have all the traditional sectors in Estonia as well, like in machinery, electronics, wood industry and food. But what we add always to them also this smart component, which means that whatever we do also in these traditional fields of business, they must be also smart. And they have the digital component, because the digital goes horizontally through all the sectors in Estonia. There is not a single sector, basically, where we don't have a digital component. And it probably happens in the world in the other places as well. So, few figures about the export services. If we're talking about services, not the goods. So the #1 is, of course, the ITC, and we also have the transportation and the other different type of services which we export to the world, to very many countries. And on the goods side, #1 is machinery, number 2 is mineral products, and #3 is wood and articles of wood. So Estonia is very famous about it, and I will talk about these sectors later as well in more detail. But let's start with ICT. Estonian ICT is exported already to 120 plus countries, which means that our ICT companies have been very mobile in a direct sense of the world of mobile, because all these services, although they can be exported via the online channels, that means that you can never do a business just by communicating over the internet. So they travel a lot. We have more than 3,000 digital services available to the citizens, for the businesses and also for the foreigners who live in Estonia. That is really a great number, and of course we use the blockchain in very many places where we need to make sure that the integrity of the data is always secured, that this data, which might be sensible sometimes, is not being breached. And of course I can't skip the fact that we have 7 unicorns in Estonia, which means that this is the biggest number of unicorns per capita in the world. So we are very proud of that. One of the unicorns is actually presented here today with us. It's called the Volt, and you may visit the unicorn if you would like to do it today. Then of course everything is based on identity, and we call it e-identity. And this is the strongest basic foundation for Estonian ICT success stories, and we have used the e-ID already since 2002. And as you can see from the numbers on the corner of the slide, it is used regularly every day by everybody, and nobody even remembers basically where they have used some state or private sector services by physically going to the offices or to the shops. Basically everything can be done with the ID card. This is the cornerstone of our IT success. Few more examples. Can you imagine that all these services are actually provided online? So during the COVID time, the state didn't stop to exist. Everything still worked. Every single service worked. And there was no problem with citizens, although being home or closed somewhere else, they were able to communicate with the government and do everything. For example, I had to change my driver's license because it was expired. So I went to the certain web page, I filled in everything what's needed, I proved myself with ID card that I am Sven Aulik, and in 2 days I received my new driver's license in my mailbox. Business done. Nothing, I didn't have to leave my house. Oops. There are 2 things which we can't do online. And does somebody know, and I ask Estonians to be very quiet at the moment, does somebody know what we can't do online in Estonia? Yes, there are 2 things, getting married and getting divorced. Yet. By yet, it means that technically it's actually possible, but we will prefer you to show up on your wedding. And you probably have to show up on your divorce as well, because you have to deal with the lawyers. All right, and another big, great service which you have is the iVoting, which is implemented already and started 2005. That means that Estonians have been able to vote independent of their location. For example, if today there would be a local election or parliamentary election or whatever other type of election in Estonia, I could sit down here, right here, from this stand, take out my computer and give my votes to the candidate I would like to have. It's so easy, and it's 100% secure and guaranteed. And it allows you to avoid all the possible problems which can occur. For example, what we have seen in the United States recently. So if they would have used our system, they wouldn't have no problems with the problems with that is that really the votes were counted or not counted or added or not added. With our system, it's impossible. E-tax, another thing, and that was the first digital service Estonians started to use. That means that we can file our taxes in 3 minutes with our digital ID, which really makes the life easier. Basically, when you go to the tax authority webpage, everything is already pre-filled. You basically have to click 2 times. Yes, I agree, done. It doesn't matter how big your business is or how big different type of expenses you had or whatever there are, it might be. So that's really a great thing. We have a few education companies in here with our delegation. And as you can see, Estonians are quite smart, Europe's smartest children actually, as it's written in here, because we are the first in OECD PISA tests in Europe again. And during the COVID time, of course, our schools didn't stop working. Every single children has a possibility to have lessons online, and the companies, private sector also helped a lot in order to put everything online so that all the, not just lessons and the seminars were held via online, but also the materials were digitized and people were able to use them during all the COVID time, for example. And of course, I like also the last point that it also reduced skipping classes by 30%. So the parents can always make sure that their children have been in school or not. Of course, we have smart city solutions. There are very many of them in Estonia, and I can't even read all of them out loud, but there's really lots of interesting solutions in different areas, so we can make sure that we know where is the traffic jam or when something has happened, so everything can be seen via your mobile devices or computers. And of course, there's the COVID situation again, once again, that Estonians, I think that was the second week of the COVID crisis when Estonians put together a huge hackathon in order to find solutions, what to do next, and that some of these solutions were spread out around the world globe as well. So that really helped us again. But Estonia is not only about ITC. As I showed you earlier, we have lots of electronics companies. There are lots of big companies like ABB and etc. who have settled up in Estonia, but on top of that we have also a lot of local companies who deal with lots of different type of electronics production, and this is not the subcontracting only for the bigger companies. They do their own products which they sell to somebody else in the world who need them. Something like this on the picture, I don't know if you see this little guy, it's actually a door-to-door robot which is in everyday use in Estonia. So if you order your food, it might be Bolt who brings you the food, but it might be this little robot guy who is absolutely autonomous, and it drives on its own because it has his own little brain. So it can deliver the food for you. And at the same time, Estonia was also the first country in Europe who legalized self-driving vehicles, and that was already 2017. So from that day on, we have in certain areas in Tallinn, we have the self-driving vehicles working day and night, whenever they are needed. And on top of that, this July, Estonia released, a company called Auvetech released a self-driving bus which runs on hydrogen already. So it's not electric, but it's hydrogen. And of course, the first passenger on this bus was our Madam President, who will join us very soon. So, as I mentioned, we have machinery and metalworking, very much exported to the different shipping industries, oil industries, and construction industries in the world. But that definitely works better on the closer markets because the metal constructions tend to be quite big and heavy. So exporting them to Kenya, maybe not the best idea, but I never say never. And what I'm really proud, and it has such a good resume in Europe, and it's also outside of Europe. So can you imagine that little Estonia is the biggest wooden house exporter in Europe? And we are the third biggest exporter of wooden houses to Japan. So these are the interesting facts which somehow it's difficult to realize, but these are statistics and this is true. And they have lots of different variations with prefabricated houses, modular houses. You can build even skyscrapers from Estonian wooden house constructions. I think the highest building built of wood was built by Estonians in Norway, and it has 14 stores, 14 floors, and it's all wood. So we have a good architects, and we have a lots of wood which we can use it the best possible way. And of course the food. We have really great restaurants and great places in Estonia where we can grow very much organic food. Most of it is organic, and it tastes so good that I have had, because of my work, I have visitors all the time, and they very often have said that, yes, we all heard about the famous French cuisine in Paris or in France, but we have something extra on top of that. So it's done with the touch of Estonian culinary proficiency somehow. Let's put it this way. So you're all welcome to taste it. Dr. Moses showed us also some figures I put into my presentation, also some maybe from the little bit another angle. This is a copy of the Statistic Estonia, and this information is actually publicly available all the time. So these are the numbers from 2020. So our export to Kenya was really only 10 million, imports 5.9, and as you said, Dr. Moses, this has to be not doubled, but it has to be multiplied by 100 at least for starters. So we'll have to look, and I hope that after that visit of ours today, we will see the first results as well. Just a fun fact that yes, the biggest export article from Estonia to Kenya on 2020 was wheat and muslin. I don't know what happened, who made such a deal, but somebody made a very good deal with wheat. But also we have some other products. You can see it from here. And the web page is actually such a nice Estonian IT solution that whenever, for example, when you go with the mouse to this dot, you will see that this is paper, sack kraft, unbleached, uncoated, and this is the original HS number, and that some were 327,000 euros worth of exports this year. So you can play with the numbers, and this is all public information, not kept by some agencies on their own. A few words about Enterprise Estonia, where I work. It was established year 2000. We have 3 offices in Estonia and 16 in other countries, 265 employees, and 3 main divisions, as we call them, 3 whales. We deal with trade, which includes innovation and export. Then, of course, we do the FDI, and we deal with tourism. So these are the 3 whales what are being taken care of by Enterprise Estonia. Where we are, as I mentioned on the previous slide, we are in 16 slides. The list of countries is visible in there. And the best news which I can release today is that the next destination next year is Kenya. We will do everything with the help of Dr. Moses' office to make it happen next year, so we will probably be able to provide some services already for your companies who are interested in Estonia via our local office here in Nairobi. And of course, key cooperation points between our countries, attracting investment, starting the trade, that's where all it starts. We really do have a long focus on East Africa, and especially in Kenya. That is the proof of that is the delegation, what we have here today, with such a high level from one side and from the other side, the wide spectrum of different companies. And of course, the opening of the office in Nairobi will definitely help to facilitate this trade going on. and working together with Kenya Invest, we will be able to provide our companies the best possible service with our own office, using the local knowledge from Kenya Invest, so we can have the local knowledge directed directly to our companies, even if they haven't been in Kenya yet. So thank you very much, and we will be back soon. Thank you. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Seven, the head of the International Sales Unit of Enterprise Estonia. That was a wonderful presentation. I hope you'll leave behind a soft copy.
Sorry?
You'll leave behind a soft copy.
Yes.
So that we can circulate the same to our online audience. Distinguished delegates, honorable ministers, we have reached now a certain critical moment of this business forum. To our online audience, let me indicate to you that we will not be able to have the live engagement, but all the questions, the comments that you may be having will be handled by our technical team. We'll get back to you, and I can assure you that every other aspect that you may raise will be attended to. I also hope the same applies to the audience receiving us from Turin. Please feel free to get in touch with us, and we will be able to engage with you. I now wish to ask that we all be upstanding for Her Excellency.
Your Excellency, we are privileged to have you this afternoon for the Business Forum. Allow me to take cognizance and appreciate the presence of Her Excellency Katsi Kaljulaid, the President of the Republic of Estonia. The Cabinet Secretary is present. The Deputy Minister for Economic Development and Minister of Economic Affairs and Communications of Estonia. The business delegates from the Republic of Estonia and the Republic of Kenya, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the Kenya-Estonia Business Forum, the theme being promoting trade, investment, and tourism for mutual benefit. Allow me, Your Excellency, to invite our Cabinet Secretary for Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development, Honorable Betty Maina, to guide the program. Karibu Waziri.
Thank you very much, Mike. Your Excellency, Madam Katsi Kaljulaid, the President of the Republic of Estonia, my sister, Your Excellency, Honorable Sile Kram, the Deputy Minister for Economic Development of the Republic of Estonia, my colleague, Ambassador Monica Juma, and Bwana Joseph Musheru, the principal secretaries that are present here, our ambassadors, and other dignitaries. I really want to thank you very much for joining us today at the end of this very exciting session when our business colleagues have been discussing partnerships pursuant to the MOU that they signed in 2015. I want to thank you, President Kaluleid, for choosing to join us this afternoon, but more importantly, for choosing Kenya as the first country that you visited in Africa. And I want to thank you for demonstrating the centrality of business by choosing a delegation of business people to join you. And for the business colleagues from Kenya, I want to thank you for turning up to meet our Estonian brothers and sisters. I didn't see too many sisters, but I saw quite a few brothers, and I'm sure you've had very good. Oh, the sisters are there. Yay! We want to thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you've had good conversations. I listened in a bit, and there's a lot of inspiration from Estonia for the Kenyan businesses that are present. There's a lot of shared, and we've had very deep cordial relations between Kenya and Estonia, and your recent Africa engagement strategy that has prioritized Kenya as one of the 5 countries that your country has chosen to deepen economic ties with. This prioritization of Kenya will undoubtedly elevate our relations to a new level and enable us to tap into the Estonian economy's strengths. Kenya and Estonia have some trade ties, but as we observed during the business forum, it is not deep enough. We relate with you through Europe, and we've signed up to the Economic Partnership Agreement, of which you are also co-signatories, but our numbers are still low. Sadly for us, they are in favor of Estonia, which gives us a challenge to make sure that we work hard to reverse these numbers and this trend of trade so we can have more balanced trade. You buy a lot of cut flowers and live plants from us. We buy some technology and intermediate paper products from yourselves. But we notice that of the things that you import from other countries, Kenya has capacity to produce that and to sell that to your market. So the challenge to us is to ensure that we become very strong and credible suppliers to your consumers of the products that we produce, such as meat, fish, fruits and vegetables, dairy products, honey that you import from other countries, and therefore we know there's a market for those products in your country. Given that Kenya is a predominantly agricultural-based economy, and our countries trade under the EAC and EU Economic Partnership Agreement, Kenya is keen to pursue a working arrangement that would enable us to increase our exports to Estonia for each of the products that I have mentioned above. We also note that Estonia is strategically located in Europe, sharing a common border with the Russian Federation, a market that Kenya is also interested in accessing, and other markets in your neighborhood. So we'd like to utilize Estonia's strategic location and the cordial relations between our countries to facilitate our products to enter the other countries in your neighborhood. We are very glad that you've got an Africa engagement strategy that focuses on education, ICT, environment, energy, and e-governance. And as you've heard since you've arrived yesterday, Kenya is very keen to engage with you on these elements of your Africa strategy. Having highlighted the trade potential between Kenya and Estonia, we want to urge the business community to utilize this forum and other forums that will come, not necessarily by accompanying the president because you're free to travel on your own. We'd like you to develop very, very good relations and deepen and use them to deepen the relations between our two countries. We also want to encourage tourism between our two countries. You're very different. Sometimes we think it might be too cold for us, but we think it's a good opportunity for Kenyans to learn other climates and learn other cultures by visiting Estonia. We also want to welcome visitors from Estonia into Kenya. 2 months or 3 months ago, we had one of your rally drivers, Ot Tanak. He was here, and he did very well, as you would remember. His only comment was he thought the safari rally was not hard enough. So I don't know what that says about your own rallies, but we would really like, I hope some of you visited or some of your compatriots visited with Ot Tanak when he was here, but we would like to encourage you to urge other Estonians to visit Kenya as well. We can go a long way in this partnership together. Let me now invite my sister, the Deputy Minister for Economic Development, to speak at this moment. Asante.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, President of Estonia, Madam Cabinet Secretary, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'm very grateful to our Kenyan host who made us feel very special during our visit. Thank you so much for being so welcoming. On behalf of Minister of Economic Affairs and Communication, I would like to give my compliments and express my admiration on the remarkable economic progress that Kenya has been doing over the years, and especially for the ability you have maintained over the hectic period of pandemic. As Cabinet Secretary Betty Maina told me yesterday, you have found a good balance between fighting with pandemic and keeping the economy going. Furthermore, Kenyan outstanding companies like Safaricom has been making immense investment to other African countries. We can clearly see that Estonia and Kenya can work together on the Big Four agenda of Kenya. The vision you have set, focusing on food security, affordable housing, manufacturing, affordable healthcare, is offering long-term partnership possibilities between Kenya and Estonia. There has already been growing interest towards the East African countries by Estonian companies from different sectors, and we can see interest increasing year by year. I'm very pleased that the cooperation between our countries has reached a new milestone. I strongly believe that by building people-to-people relations, we learn more about each other and find more and more possibilities to cooperate. Building on this strong potential, Estonia now has a hope of keeping the good relations between our countries even so prosperous. On behalf of our ministry, I want to reassure that today's event is not a one-off activity. Estonia is ready for long-term relations with Kenya, setting East Africa as one region for more focused cooperation. We will open our economic representation here in Nairobi next year. So we will present, focusing on daily work and cooperation. Therefore, I do believe that today is a continuation of a long journey. And I'm pretty sure that exchanging business delegation would become a tradition in the future. From our previous cooperation, we have seen Kenya is a very light-minded country, and Kenya, being a forerunner in democracy and economics among African countries, plays a huge role in technology, innovation, and economic growth. Therefore, I take this opportunity to wish continued peace and happiness to our people of Kenya and invite you all to find out more we can offer to each other. Asante sana na karibu Estonia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before Madam Cabinet Secretary invites Her Excellency to make her remarks, after the commitment that we've made as both countries, the Republic of Estonia and the Republic of Kenya, we wish now to do a symbolic thing that is now signing the Memorandum of Understanding, and I will request that Bwana PS, the team that is organizing for us, kindly to do it now, so that we can sign the Memorandum of Understanding for the management of investment between the Republic of Kenya and the Republic of Estonia. Kindly, the team that is organizing that, we do it very fast. And I will request the MD can invest, Bwana Moses Ikiara, kindly to come forward. I will also request the Undersecretary, the Republic of Estonia, also to come forward. Kindly provide for them 2 seats at the center there. Yeah, that's okay. At the center is okay. Kindly provide 2 seats. You want to do it over here? Okay, okay. I stand guided. Can you bring it to the, bring it to me. Siombele President, that's okay. Probably the 2 seats. Kindly the MD can invest, take your seat. The Undersecretary, kindly take your seat. Mr. Sven, kindly. I will invite Her Excellency will be witnessing. Madam Cabinet Secretary will also witness. The PS, Ambassador Aweru, will also witness. So kindly take your seats. Her Excellency will witness. Yes, your witness. Thank you, Your Excellency. So the Undersecretary and the MD can invest, Moses Ikiara, are now signing the Memorandum of Understanding. This is a memorandum on management on invests between Kenya and Estonia. And we do appreciate that Your Excellency, your coming has yielded fruits. It is not in vain. We appreciate and we take cognizance that you gave Kenya an opportunity to explore what the Republic of Estonia can offer. It's 10th of It is an opportunity for all of us, the business community, to explore what opportunities the Republic of Estonia can offer to us. And I'm happy because the entire morning you had a very deliberative exchange and a lot of exposure from both countries, the Republic of Kenya and the Republic of Estonia. Let us give him a round of applause for that. I'll request the two kindly to come forward here, the MD and the Undersecretary. Also Frank, Her Excellency at the center, and also Madam Cabinet and the Deputy. Just to showcase, just show it to us, the Undersecretary. A lot of applause for that Memorandum of Understanding. It will give us an opportunity now to explore more what we can offer as a country and what the Republic of Estonia can give to us. More round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. You may kindly take your seat as I give back to Madam Cabinet Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And congratulations to Ken Invest and Enterprise Estonia for signing and concluding a memorandum of understanding. And we will be taking stock. It's not just the picture. We enjoyed the picture. But in a few years' time, we'll be looking for results which are reflected in additional trade numbers, additional visitor numbers, and we will take note of Ot Tanak's concern about the Safari Rally and make it harder for him next time. As mentioned, the business delegations from both countries have been meeting this afternoon. They have introduced each other to themselves, but they have also tackled areas that they will be pursuing, and some of these areas build on the relative strengths of our two countries, a focus on agriculture, especially sustainable agriculture, a focus on ICT and collaboration on ICT-enabled services and industry, and also pursuit of investments in both countries. I'm obviously pimping for Kenya that we want more investments, and therefore we look forward to welcoming more Estonian investors in this country and learning from the inspiration that Estonia has for the rest of the world. And with that, Madam President, I'd now like to invite you to give your address to the business people gathered here. Karibu sana.
My sisters and brothers, please be seated. I'm really honored to speak here, and it was so nice to listen to your kind words, Madam Minister. Indeed, distance between our countries could be quite long, but we share an important part of the history. We both know what does it mean to get the right to decide for your own people, for your own nation, but at the same time feel extremely limited in your material, financial resources. So from one side, the total freedom, from the other side, restrictions of not having enough resources. We were there 30 years ago. We lost all our economy. We didn't have a currency which wouldn't have had high numbers of inflation. When we exited the ruble zone, each and every one of us got 150 Estonian crowns, less than 30 D-marks, 1.3 million people setting out on the road of economic development with that amount of resources in everybody's hand. No state structures, no tax systems which would have carried us forward, no predictability, no access to big markets yet. But the international community is a fantastic place to be part of. Mutually beneficial ties started to be growing between Estonia and our immediate neighbors, and thereafter wider and wider. Today, Estonia is a European Union member country, so if you are thinking of Estonian market, you are never thinking of a market of 1 million, but a market of 400 million of Europeans. Similarly, we are extremely happy that now, in parallel, in history slightly later, a few decades later, but African Union has agreed upon, and African Union member states have ratified the 4 freedoms agreements for African Union. So if we now think 50 million Kenyans, we also think close to 1 billion Africans. Both of us are parts of a huge markets. And that's why our companies really need to think big. How Estonian company thinks big? Now I will name also a few Estonian companies. If the representatives are here, jump up and in a totally un-Estonian way, like jump up and down and wave. I mean, how we go big. We have one unicorn in our business delegation. Unicorn, are you here? Bolt? Somewhere? See? Jump up and down, otherwise people don't see you. I mean, You are not in Estonia, you don't look ridiculous if you are a little bit like, outgoing. So this company is a typical Estonian company. Estonian workforce is 650,000 people, but Bolt employs 300,000 people. Obviously, they doesn't employ 300,000 Estonians, but they have gone out from Estonia to offer jobs globally to other people. This is very typical of an Estonian company. 30 years ago, we were looking also inbound foreign direct investment. It was very important that somebody builds a plant and people can go and work there. Now Enterprise Estonia works totally the other way around. Help our companies to go and offer jobs to people in the global world. Because what Estonia truly lacks is workforce. And therefore we consider ourselves a really useful partner for those countries who have growing population numbers, because we want to hire your people. Particularly those ones among us who plan to cooperate with your e-governance development. If there are actors and admiral markets around us, please jump up and down. Good. If there is anybody else who wants to work with e-government services provision, jump also up and down. Good. You see, these people will inherently depend on your ability to provide them with local talent to work with, because they need language skills, legal skills of your country. They will build systems with you for which you will provide maintenance yourself. You could ask, where is then the Estonian gain? When you know you can measure macroeconomically a country's economic might in GDP, but GNI is as good a measurement. Which brings me to the worry which Minister here has been telling you have, the lack of capital, the tiny potential unicorn babies being sold off to these, raptors of big capital markets. Makes you sad, I understand, I perfectly understand. Our unicorns have developed Estonian startup sector to the unicorn density which exceeds Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley capital knows this. Estonian startups have a lot of resources which they can use to develop in other markets. And I am quite sure that they plan to do so. Because you don't only need capital, but you need big market as well to develop. I'm quite sure that there is also among us, for example, Timbetter, jump up and down, Anna-Greta, thanks. This will also be a unicorn, but this is also about sustainable development. They work in forestry. Tomorrow we will open a cooperation project in this country where Timbetter will be also part of, being sure that you get the reforestation done in this country. Timbetter is an interesting example that once I had them in my business delegation and we went to a global timber company. And these men over there came to me and said, "Thank you, Madam President, you brought these people along, now we see them." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And this appears that Timbetter, a tiny Estonian startup at that time, had found, without ever crossing the ocean, a huge Latin American timber company, which had considered their idea so good that they built a partnership totally online. Nobody ever crossed the ocean until the Estonian official visit to Chile, in which case they were with us. This is nowadays world of 21st century. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter how small you can do things. And if we are already at the sustainable development, I would like to also mention Aus Design. Reeta, are you here somewhere? I don't see them right now jumping up and down, but it doesn't matter because the dress I am wearing is by Aus Design, and this is created by the leftovers of my own other dresses. So this is about sustainable textile management. We also have Fusebox. Are they here? Here. They've been out of town here already, looking to work and cooperate with the grids you have, because they are about efficient energy use, saving energy, making sure that the grids can operate in new, different network environments, which are all new to us, because we are used to the systems where you have a big power plant and then a lot of users. This world is gone now. You will have lots of installations both on consumer and provision side, and they make things click nicely together. Yet another one in the sustainable development area is Space Trip. Space Trip is about water purification. I know you are really worried about Nairobi River and its water quality. They are ready to help. They are ready to install systems which purify at household the water. And this system as well is held together. It's tens of thousands potential users held together by a digital network of control mechanism. You couldn't do these things 30 years ago, but you can now. Is Space Trip here? They are, you see. I mean, this is a clear demonstration that even if you think Estonia, you know that you don't know where we geographically are. You did. Yes, indeed, you are right. Our eastern neighbor is Russia. But, I mean, everybody knows we are online. And everybody associates our thinking and business with the digital development sector. But frankly, this is not true, because nowadays everything is digital. You absolutely, in every business, as I have been, I hope, demonstrating by naming these companies, you are digital. In conference management, we have Global Virtual Solutions here in Estonia, who is our response to the lack of conference space in many places in the world, or to the inability to come to the conferences. They offer their services to UN, to Estonian government, and all others. Are they here? Global Virtual Solutions jumps up and down over there, you see. And of course, if we are talking about hiring your people, we are as interested as you are in order to have an educated workforce. Which brings me to e-school or e-kool in Estonia and OPIC. Please, your turn to jump up and down. OPIC is the company who is your partner to digitize your school curriculum, which the minister was before in the morning talking about. I care very much about egalitarian school systems. Estonia and Finland are globally the PISA leaders. And the reason we are there is because from every village school, every child, never mind how rich or poor their parents, can get to the best university in Estonia, which is among the world's 300 best universities. This can only be achieved if school system is truly egalitarian. The potential of each and every Kenyan child can be only achieved if the school system treats them all equally. E-school and OPIC, they are here to support you. Now we can play the game that if I didn't name an Estonian company, then stand up and say your name. Is there anybody I didn't mention? Greenergy. True, you see, we know each other really well in Estonia. This is about helping to build sustainable server parks and other this kind of urban solutions, if you so wish. I know the gentleman has other businesses with which you can actually try to make your digital world click together. But where he's really good is not so much a concrete service provision, but actually on the procurement side to help you to design what you really want to get for yourself, be it a green server park or something else. I'm correct?
Correct, thank you.
Somebody else whom I didn't? Oh yes, of course. Digitalization of judiciary. We were already talking today in one seminar. And here indeed, I think it's very important that your digitalization of the judicial system, we discussed with your Attorney General that things are online, but they are not encrypted. And I'm quite sure that you can help there to make sure that your digital signature system clicks with that system and also encrypts from point to point all what is going on. This is the best way to run, because initially when you're rushing online within this pandemic, any digital service is better than no service, which you would have had otherwise. But now you need to start thinking also about security and encryption, so they come in it. Somebody else? Ikosagen, indeed. This is the company which makes some people already knew it, nasal spray, which has the antibodies for to kill the coronavirus in your nose. So Ikosagen is this kind of company, very useful in this time of pandemics. And also, of course, we are from the same academic family. I also have a degree from Tartu University, genetic engineering. So, anybody else? Well, it wasn't bad. I remembered 8 and there were 3 more. So I'm really happy to see so many interested faces, and I'm grateful for Estonian businesses to make this state visit happen. And it's exactly this way how Estonian diplomacy works. State visits only happen if our businesses are interested. So you Kenyan people, you have made this state visit to happen because you have offered our business a chance to work with you. So they ordered this state visit and we obliged. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Are we happy? Are we happy, business people? Let's give her a more heartier clap. Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Estonia, and all the delegates who were present for attending the Kenya-Estonia Business Forum with the theme Promoting Trade, Investment and Tourism for Mutual Benefits. We'll allow Her Excellency now to take her leave, escorted by the escort of honor and the protocol team, so maybe be upstanding as we allow Her Excellency to take her leave. Let's appreciate her as she leaves. Thank you.